Hello guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to review, document, and sound demo this really cool guitar right here. This is the Dave Mustaine Angel of Death 2 guitar. It's different from the first Angel of Death guitar in that this guitar has an Explorer body as opposed to a Flying V. And let's get right into this guitar. So right out of the factory, this guitar comes with Dean DMT pickups, which sound good and are very versatile. They're a little different on this guitar in that they have that silver metal cover, but they're the same pickups you would find on Dean cheap guitars. The fretboard material in this guitar is ebony, supposedly, yet if you look at it closely, it's like a rich dark brown color instead of like a rich black ebony color. The inlays on this guitar are just acrylic, but they do luster pretty well, or shine very well, I should say. I'll show you guys another shot of this in just a bit, but yeah, overall, it looks like a really good guitar. On the back of this guitar, you guys can see it's got string through construction. The back of the body is painted, the back of the neck is painted, the strap button is next to, but not exactly on the neck joint. On the back of this guitar, you guys can see it's got that really cool Dave Mustaine silhouette. It's got Grover tuners, which keep tuned very well. And the last thing I want to point out is that this guitar was made in Indonesia, which explains why it's a really good quality guitar versus the Deans that are made in China, or a lot of them, I should say. Also, if it isn't obvious, this guitar is neck through construction, which is something that you want to have in a Dean guitar that you actually like. What I mean by that is you guys have seen me review actually Dave Mustaine guitars that are bolt-on construction, and they always almost have neck joint cracks. Obviously, that's not a problem with a guitar that's neck through construction. And honestly, I used to trust Dean to make a better quality guitar than even Gibson for Dave Mustaine, especially with their neck through construction guitars. But yeah, that hasn't been the case in the past few years with Dean guitars, has it? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. There's been a decline in quality, but this guitar, I believe, came out sometime in the mid 2010s. And again, just by looking at it, you can tell it's a good quality guitar, or at least not a cheap quality guitar by any means. The construction looks good, the neck joint looks sturdy. It is a bit heavy, but I'll talk more about that later. But again, overall, it looks like a good guitar. So this is what the pickup cavities on the guitar look like. They are routed well. It does look rough on the inside, but that's something you shouldn't really care about. I mean, once the pickup's on there, you would never know, right? The pickups are unbranded, but again, they're just the Dean DMT pickups, which sound good and are very versatile. And overall, again, it just looks like a really good construction guitar inside and out. So these guitars used to cost $800 new when they first came out. Obviously, since Dave Mustaine switched over to Gibson, these guitars are discontinued, and the price has skyrocketed. I've seen some of these go for like $1,500 online. It's a bit crazy, but in a way I can see why people would want this guitar. It's definitely a cheaper and better option in my opinion than the Gibsons that Dave Mustaine put out, but overall, if you can get one of these for $800, I think you got a good deal, because again, the price of this guitar has just gone up. This guitar in particular, I got for $600. I'm gonna sell it for a little more than that. I'm gonna price in the cost of the case and all that, and I'm just gonna sell it as like a really nice bundle. I'm thinking a Dave Mustaine fan is gonna want it for sure, but yeah, I'm happy to just have owned this guitar. I wouldn't consider keeping it just because it's not for me. I'm more of a Flying V or a Randy Rhoads shaped guitar kind of guy, as you guys know. But I do like this guitar. If I wanted to get an Explorer, this would be the definite option that I would seek to. It's definitely a better guitar than the Epiphone Ghost Horse I reviewed a few weeks ago. But yeah, overall, again, it's just a good guitar. I did forget to mention earlier that the body wood material is mahogany, as well as the scale length is 25.5 inches. So yeah, you guys can see I'm just cleaning it up. As of this video coming out, I already sold this guitar, so I'm actually just cleaning it before I send it off, and as well as changing the strings and all that fun jazz. So some of my initial thoughts on this guitar is that obviously it looks freaking great. I really like that repro graphic. It's got a very Children of Bodom feeling to it, as well as it's a good guitar overall. It sounds good, it's got good construction. Even like the pickup cavities looked pretty pretty well done, I would say. The inlays shining like they do, as you guys can see, is something I was pleasantly surprised by. Usually Dean just uses like cheap acrylic. It doesn't really shine that well, but it does on this guitar, which I think it's important, because if you're gonna have plain dot inlays, might as well just make them luster or shine beautifully. Well, I guess I can't say luster because they're not made out of pearl or anything like that. Anyway, let's get into the tone test, and then I'll talk more about my initial thoughts. Okay guys, so after playing this guitar for a bit, I realized I wasn't used to the shape. My shoulder started getting a little bugged after playing with it for a little while. And I do apologize if the tone test was a little short. I actually only had 10 minutes to play it before I shipped it off. And basically I just cut down like the best 4 minutes out of those 10 minutes. Again, my playing is a little muddy, but I think it sounds fine on this guitar. It's the pickups definitely do help. But I was just not used to the shape of this guitar for some reason. But it is comfortable to hold it like a Strat, like just sitting on your lap. If you hold it like a Flying V, it's not that comfortable. As you guys can see, there was only one short clip where I had it like between my legs, like in a Flying V position. But overall, it is a good guitar. It stays in tune very well, even though I just changed the strings. The pickups sound good. Overall, I do like this guitar a lot. As I stated earlier, if I were to get a like an Explorer type of guitar, I would definitely look into getting one of these. Maybe I would change the pickups, but even if you get one of these and you don't change the pickups, I think you'll be fine. Even though the pickups are a bit flat, it actually contributes to the overall sound in that it lets your amp do its job. Because if you have pickups that really mold the tone no matter what amp you put it through, a lot of times it gets in the way of letting you craft your tone through your amp. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts after playing this guitar. Again, overall, I do like this guitar, and it's a very good quality guitar. So I bought this guitar used, and it didn't come with a case. However, I thought it was a worthy investment to get one, and sure enough, it helped me sell it, and also it kept this guitar insanely well protected. This case is very like exactly molded to the body of the guitar, to the point where once you put it in, it stays so well put that it doesn't wiggle around at all. I definitely feel like this case protects this guitar even in an airport situation. What I mean by that is that airports are infamous for throwing luggage around, especially musical instruments. So I definitely would trust this case to keep this guitar protected even in a situation like that. So good job, Dean, or you used to be able to do good jobs like this. But yeah, again, very nice, cool guitar, nice case for it. Overall, it's just a really good guitar, and it's no wonder I trust this guitar to be a little better quality than like even the Gibsons by Dave Mustaine. So final thoughts on this guitar. In terms of sound, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. These pickups sound great and are very versatile. You guys have heard me talk about these pickups in other Dean guitar review videos, especially the Dave Mustaine ones, so that's something they do right in all their cheap guitars. These pickups, again, sound good and are very versatile. In terms of aesthetics, I would give this guitar an 8.9 out of 10. It's definitely one of the selling points, and the Reaper and all that fun jazz looks really cool. Again, it's got a very Children of Bodom-y vibe to it, and I really dig it. In terms of construction, I would give this guitar an 8.8 out of 10. Again, very well constructed. It'll last you a very long time if you take good care of it. In terms of feel, this I'm a little biased against because again, I'm used to the Flying V's and the Rhodes shaped guitars. So I would give it an 8 out of 10. Definitely not the most comfortable for me. My shoulder did get tired after playing with it like awkwardly for a bit, but you know, if you're used to Explorers, you might even give it a 9 out of 10 because it is a comfortable guitar. It is a bit heavy, that's worth noting, like most Explorers are, but it's nothing that would get too much in the way of your playing. Okay guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, comments, or concerns regarding this guitar, just drop them in the comment section and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Besides that, you guys stay safe. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.